You were sort of tangentially involved in something that happened at the Olympics. You want to tell us a bit about that?
And it was during the Summer Olympics. I'll never forget this, that a bomb went off in Olympic uh, Park, and it was in the middle of the night. I was unaware of it at the time. I think you and I had been to a dressage competition.
The Olympic dressage in Conyers, we did.
I must say, it was the most boring thing I've ever seen, but you wanted to go watch the
It was
horses.
also the cheapest ticket that we got.
Yeah, and the only ticket that we got, as I recall. And totally unaware of the bombing. So it was about 5 or 6 in the morning. The FBI was banging on my door, our door, and said they wanted to see a file. I was going, why at 6 o'clock in the morning do we need to go look up a file? And they said, well, there's been a bombing, and we think it could have been somebody that your office has prosecuted. They gave me a name. The name did not register at all to me, Caroline. So I put on my jeans. We went to the office, and we didn't have a computerized file system then, so I had to go to a card catalog, and I'll pull out the name. Oh my gosh, I was the prosecutor, and this guy is a suspect in a horrific bombing during the Olympics, and I was really concerned. I said, did I make a mistake here that this was somebody who was a violent, but I still could not remember. I had no recollection that that was a violent crime. And the card said impersonating a police officer. Well, was bizarre. So we went to the stacks of files, and in alphabetical order, I pulled out Richard Jewell. And I started reading my own notes in my own handwriting, and it started to refresh my memory that Mr. Jewell had been unable to pass the certification exam to become a police officer, but his mother made him a uniform. He got a badge, he got a gun, and so he hired
his own personal gun.
His own personal gun,
not like okay.
Yeah, and a badge that you and I today could get on Amazon. I don't know where he got the badge from.
Party City,
and probably from a Party City, and he was a security guard at a very nice apartment complex that really specialized in Emory grad students, like law students and med students. And there were 2 students in a hot tub doing what students do in a hot tub late at night. And he arrested one of the students for, I believe, indecent exposure. And
under what authority?
That's so the sheriff's department comes and picks up the student. The student is booked into jail, and then it's immediately discovered that the officer who arrested the student is not a police officer. He had no authority to arrest anyone. And so he's arrested for impersonating a police officer. And the case comes to me, and I'm going, are you kidding me? What is this guy doing? And so eventually, at the boy who was arrested, at his recommendation, Mr. Jewell got probation and counseling, and the promise
That's
never.
Good. And that goes with the justice theme here.
And it's the promise never. Well, the boy and his friend turned around and sued the complex for hiring somebody who wasn't a police officer in the first place. So they turned out okay. But that was Richard Jewell. And so I'm reading this, and I'll never forget looking at the FBI agent and said, if you told me this guy had made a fake bomb, I believe you.
Oh, no.
But this guy can't make a pot of coffee.
Oh, damn.
So to think that he made a bomb with a timer on it that killed and injured these people. And as it turned out, Richard Jewell, even though he was a suspect and his reputation was so harmed, he's not the one who did it. And eventually, and so the charges, Jewell was never officially charged, but his name was all over the papers. He became a suspect. Kent Alexander, a friend of mine, also the U.S. attorney at the time, has written a very popular book called The Suspect. And it really details how good people can make bad mistakes. And I always remember that we got to be really cautious when we put somebody's reputation on the line. But Eric Rudolph, I mean, coincidentally, was ultimately prosecuted by Sally Yates, an assistant U.S. attorney. Sally and I ended up working together on a sheriff's case. And then Sally was the assistant United States Attorney General and the acting Attorney General under President Trump before he fired her. The real culprit ends up that he was a student at Western Carolina University, where I'm now a professor.
A lot of ties in. It also it sounds like it was a warning sign for you about how much you let the public and the media into an investigation before there's proof or even arrest.